Hello and welcome to Alchemist Swim. I'm Alchemist Jen. Thanks for joining me on this fine day. I hope it is a good one for you. Happy day. So the whim of the day is to talk a little bit about crochet creature design and some yarny things. So just kind of thinking through what I wanted to talk about today, and that's just kind of what stuck with me, and didn't really feel like crocheting proper, but talking about it sounded fun. So here I am talking about crocheting. So I'm in the process of working through setting up my own line of crochet amigurumi yarns, and then I also want to be able to knit with them too. So things like this gorgeous octopus, and being able to convert this into a pattern. So I have some cotton yarn here, so it's a little bit it's going to end up being a bit smaller version of this because the gauge of the yarn is just a little bit finer than this is. So that's totally cool. And so I've got some colors ready to go. I think I've got some more that I've got coming up too, that I just need to figure out how I want to roll out some kits, I think. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, how do I want to go forward with this notion of being able to have patterns and kits, and also just yarn available to do a variety of different things. So I'm thinking, just as I do the patterns, I want to use definitely my yarn of choice here, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. This is a cotton, so it's been just dyed, and it's just super fun. So straight up cotton. It's a DK weight. It will crochet up really, really well, and I just think it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to have a really beautiful texture to it, be washable, and just be resilient and fun. And I think that I'm happy with the results of the yarn so far. So I just fell in love with how it felt. And so I think that's going to work out to really fantastic creatures. So at this juncture, being able to use this yarn to make things, and then being able to figure out how I'm going to get it out into the world, or to yarn shops or other things like that. So some other colors here too. Just really love the way the dye saturation took and everything. It still looks hand dyed, so that's going to be really cool, especially in the completed objects and creatures. So I'm super, super pumped about this. This is better than I thought. I was thinking I was going to have to try a bunch of different things to try to figure this out, and it would be much more complicated. But I think it's actually going to go forward really easily, in the sense that I'll be able to start from here versus having to take more steps from here. There's nothing easy about this process at all. It's very complex, and it's just kind of opening up so many things. So being able to offer this, but then also being more visible for that, and bringing with it lots of questions and interactions with people. So that's cool. It's just a very different thing from what I've been doing. I have done some interactions with other people about things and patterns and things, but nothing on the levels that I know that I'm going to bring out with this, especially if I market it well and get my stuff out there. So yay! So definitely need to finish this guy, and then be able to have some more accessories. So right now I need to get more cotton yarn, and I need to dye more up. So I need to set my palette base and then kind of work from there. I can add new colors here and there, but I really just want to have a nice solid collection to start with that has variety, different tones, different feels to them, and then figure out my math too, because if I'm doing a certain amount of weight of of fibers. I want to have consistency in what those what the colors are going to look like. So I really need to figure out my math there, and just be super consistent with it. I think that's really the way to go. I think theoretically, if I do things by weight and just be consistent and scale them up or down by weight, I think I should have similar results. So I'm going to work on that theory, wink wink to myself and to you. And I could find that I'm completely wrong and have such variety of results, but maybe I just have to just remember that I'm doing die lots and keeping tabs on what those are. It's a lot to it, and things will change. So I want to have something more complex like this. This is a very advanced crochet, and then having something much simpler too. So I really want to have both beginner crochet and then a bunch of tutorials and easy little booklet. I definitely like the idea of doing zines. And so I have this beautiful laptop that I can use that has a pen, and I can do some drawing as well too. So it gives me just kind of this next avenue that I can open up. I want to work on my illustration styles for drawing digitally. So these are things that are just kind of being, just kind of, I guess, eye-opening is the right word for it, that are kind of beginning to kind of develop, that I've been, anticipating, but, I didn't know when I would actually get to these points. So, so it's really kind of cool to see my growth through the process and to be encouraged that I've gotten to this point. And it's not really been a long time either. So I'm just able to just keep moving forward and keep having fun and keep it light and just keep challenging myself in ways that I'm getting good results and I'm getting good responses for my stuff. So, I mean, you're watching, right? So thank you for that. I thank you for being here. Like little things like that seem minimal in the moment, do add up. And so I appreciate your being here. So thank you. This is another fun creature that I made that I'm anticipating being into a pattern. It's a platypus in a onesie. So this one's a little bit more complex just in the fact that it has some embroidery. So I just kind of stitched back into itself to create a tonal element, and I went with a complementary color, so it really just kind of stands out from itself. So I think, this guy could be any variety of different hues. So like, how do I want to, like, what's my base, and then what do I want to encourage, and then being able to have a place where people can freely post their own photos and things, and to have things to share. So those are kind of things that are going through my head. It'll be fun to recreate a bunch of these things as I go, and then having the yarn available, I'll be able to build them immediately with the yarn instead of having to use a variety of different ones. Like this one has, like, I don't even know how many different brands of yarn is in it. I mean, I've only used like 4 colors or something like this, 5 colors in this one, so at least 3 or 4, and I've used 5 colors, knowing that this and then the onesies all the same type of yarn, I believe. So it's kind of fascinating, and so it's an interesting journey to be on. I like making stuff. I like seeing people interact with them. It's going to be really cool to see other people make them. So yeah, so that's what's going on there. I want to do simpler things, like I said. So I still like things that are playful, things that you can discover, attributes that are intriguing. I like, seeing people light up. So, and if they're making things that are going to make other people light up, that's really, really quite fun. And so it has a bigger impact of positivity and happy things. So yeah, so those are my, I guess, underlying things that I'm contemplating through this, where I want to go with it. the potential. There's a huge amount of potential for some awesome things. So yeah, so I'm going to be making a bunch of things. I'm still, I know I've talked, but I haven't talked to you recently, or talked about recently, is resin creatures and monsters and things too. So that's totally still on my radar. And so just trying to figure out the avenues and when to focus on that as a thing. So right now the yarny things are really kind of taking more of a seat, just because there's already the audience for them. So and I'm getting questions and things too. So I feel like those are things that I can, I guess I've already made steps on, so I can, you know, keep them in motion while I'm working on the other things as well too. So I mean, I've chosen to use the word whim and whim of the day in my videos and things on purpose, because I know that I'll change it up, and I'll probably change tomorrow what I'm going to do. I have no idea what that is yet. So that's what's fun, and I really like that part of it. So yay for yarn, yay for crochet awesomeness. And then I feel like once I start working on this and making sure I have the right colors for the right first kind of pattern, I think I'll feel more like I'm moving in that direction. I think right now I need more yarn, and I need to figure out my math for consistency. So that's really the next steps. So I'm really hoping to have some kits for the fall. I think that's a very realistic time frame, kits and a release of my yarn. So that's kind of where I'm aiming. We'll see what happens. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see where the whim takes us tomorrow. Toodaloo.